Hey everyone, it's Asha. Welcome to Reading with Asha. Today I'm giving you spring break book recommendations, which might not make a ton of sense because it didn't make a ton of sense to me either when I thought of the idea. But think about it like this. Yes, if you are going on spring break, since this is like spring break kind of starting time for everyone, at least in college, and then I think usually high school and stuff is a little bit later. If you are going on spring break, yes, these are great book recommendations for you to bring with you to read on the beach or wherever you're going if you're going on vacation. These books are great beach reads for you to read while you're gone, lighthearted, easy, just really good reads. I'll tell you about each one, obviously, but if you're not going on spring break, these books will take you there. So that's the point of this video, is for you to be in spring break on your mind, even on your mind, for you to be on spring break in your mind. So these books will be transporting you to wherever it is that you want to be that's not where you're at right now. So yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Some of these you've probably heard of before. I'm gonna give you my little reviews about them, and let's do it. First book here, I'm actually sure that a lot of people haven't heard about this one before. It's Hello Goodbye by Kate Stollenwerk. I think that's how you say it. So this book is so good if you like a coming of age young adult kind of novel. I flew through this book. It's so cute and it's summer based, so this is also a great summer read. It's kind of a mystery one as well. So it's about a young girl named Haley, and she has to spend a couple days a week of summer with her grandmother, which she is not excited about. I don't know about you, but I would be probably really excited to do that because I love my grandparents. She's not happy about it. She doesn't want to do it. There's this little neighbor boy who lives by the grandmother who she is actually pretty excited to see, so there's a little romance that develops there. Her whole summer changes when she discovers this letter that her great grandpa wrote, and it unravels this entire mystery plot within the novel. It's not anything scary, it's just a super interesting mystery plot, and I think that this book is so cute. And because it's based in summer, there's a lot of like references to warmth. I personally don't like to know a ton about a book before going into it, so I'm kind of just giving you a little taste of the book, or even just a little bit about the plot so you guys can get an idea, see if it's something that you might be interested in, then you can pick it up if you want to. But yeah, if you like character driven YA coming of age kind of stories, with the romance in here is closed door as well, so there's like little to no spice at all, you'll definitely really like this book, so I would highly recommend that. I think I gave this one a 4 or 5 stars. I read it a couple of summers ago and it was super cute. Next up is my favorite book ever. That was a little unnecessary. Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau. This is a literary fiction story, but don't let that scare you because it's really not scary. Literary fiction basically just means that it's going to be very character driven, and pretty much you're just following around the characters. That's kind of what this is. But it's a girl, her name is Mary Jane. She's 14 years old. This is a coming of age story as well, which if you love one, this is the perfect story for you. If you like Daisy Jones and the Six, I've heard people say that this is similar. I mean, they have similar vibes. I didn't really feel like they were crazy similar, but this book was similar to, what was it that I read that was kind of similar to this? Honestly, I don't remember. If you like that kind of vibe, this one is just so fun. It's so funny. She lands like a little summer job in her neighborhood. She ends up babysitting this really young girl in what her parents think is a respectable doctor's house. He's actually a psychologist, which is not as respectable, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, she ends up babysitting in this house, and the father is a psychologist, and he's actually helping this rock star dude get over a drug addiction. This story is just so good. There's so much just good summery warm vibes, like with the story, the found family aspect in it. Her life changes so much. Just such a good story. Like, I don't even want to tell you too much about it so you just go in blind. I feel like this will make you love a good literary fiction coming of age story if you haven't read one before. Next one is one that I haven't seen come up in a couple of years. I feel like I don't see this one talked about a lot now, but this is a YA kind of romance fiction story. This one is Love and Gelato, and it's based in Italy. So it's this girl named Lena, and she's spending the summer in Tuscany, Italy. The only reason that she's there is because her mom passed away and her dad lives in Italy, and her mom's dying wish was for her to get to know her father. There is a little romance in this one that develops throughout the story, and then this also is now a movie. I think it's on Netflix. It was a pretty cute movie. I remember this being one of my favorite books that I read when I started reading like 4 or so years ago, and I really loved it and thought it was so cute, and it's just a cute, fun little story another closed door, no spice romance if you're not really into spice. This is a great option for you, and also the story's just really fun. They're going all over Italy, so you get a little bit of a touristy kind of outlook on things. It'll probably make you want to go to Italy, but it's a really fun story, and I definitely gave this like a 4 or 5 stars when I read it. Next one is, oh, I have so many YA picks that this is the last YA pick I think that I have. The next one is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. I'm pretty sure I actually did read this on spring break one year, and I finished it in like 2 days while I was sitting by the pool. This is like the perfect book to be sitting by the pool and reading because it's based on Martha's Vineyard. I love books that are based on these little islands off the East Coast, like the ones I'm about to show you next. I just eat it up every single time. It's so good. This one's based on Martha's Vineyard, and it's about a girl. Her name is Meredith. So they have an annual family vacation to Martha's Vineyard, and they're going this year because one of her cousins is getting married, and Meredith also recently got dumped. So she's single now. She's going to this place where there's going to be all these like groomsmen and bridesmaids and all these people. So you know that there's potential for some romance there, if I will say so myself. But they basically play this huge game of Assassin, which is just a fun game that you can play with water guns. I will say that this isn't as closed door as the other ones are. There's a little bit more spice in this one. I think there was one scene that could easily be skipped over if you wanted to read it. That was a little bit spicier than the other books that I talked about. Mary Jane, by the way, I think did have some spice in it. Not for Mary Jane herself, but for like the adults in the story too. But I would highly recommend this one just because the beach vibes are great, you know? Next, we have The Summer of... No, it's not The Summer of Broken Rules. What is The Summer of Broken Rules? That's the one I just showed you. Guys, I have no clue what I'm saying. Next up, we have Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. You've probably heard of this book. It's a very popular second chance romance, childhood friends to lovers stories, and it's based on a lake house kind of situation, which is just my favorite thing ever. Like, I've always wanted to have a lake house. This just took me there when I read it. The romance was with her and her lake house neighbor, who was like her friend, and they developed this romance, and then it's like 11 years in the future or something, and they haven't talked for such a long time, but she has to go back for a funeral. So they kind of have to be forcibly reconnected. It goes back and forth between the past and the present, so it goes like when they're growing up on the lake house and like falling in love and that kind of thing, and then in the present where they don't really talk that much and you kind of have to figure out what happened there. The next 3 books are all by my summer beach read queen, which is none other than Ellen Hildebrand, who I love so much. I just got another one of her books the other day, and I'm so excited to read it sometime soon. But my favorite read by Ellen Hildebrand personally is Summer of '69. This is a great beach read. Ellen's stories all have a lot of characters, and it switches between point of views between several of them. So I really like that because there's always something going on between different characters. Now, these are just fiction stories. Some of them I'll show you could be categorized as other things as well, but they're just pretty much general fiction, and they are pretty much just based on the characters. So there's a lot of like really fun stuff that's happening, and pretty much always like a little romance plot of sorts. This is the book that is similar to Mary Jane. You have the youngest sister, whose name is Jessie, I'm pretty sure, and Jessie's kind of like our Mary Jane. She's going through all these coming of age things, like getting her first bra, and then it also goes into the stories of the middle sister who's on Martha's Vineyard, and then the oldest sister who's about to have kids. But there's crazy plot lines between each and every one of them. Jessie and her family usually spend their summers on Nantucket, so most of Ellen's novels are based on Nantucket because of the fact that that's where Ellen's from. So it just feels like you're there. Like, I feel like I've been to Nantucket 20 times because of how much I know about it just from reading these books, because she uses real places in the book. This book is so fun, so good. The plot lines are so crazy. There's just so much drama going on. If you just love a good dramatic book between like really rich people on Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard, and like coming of age for the young sister, for the middle sister who's like getting different jobs, and it's just so good. There's so much, and I just love this book so much. Like, I love Ellen Hildebrand. I love her writing. I will read every single one of her books. Another book by her is The Perfect Couple. Now, this one is kind of like a little mystery thriller book. It's not a gruesome thriller. thriller in my opinion. This one's based on Nantucket. It's based around a wedding that's about to happen, but the night before they find a body in the water and they have to figure out who did it because everyone on the whole wedding party list is a suspect. And you get so many different point of views in this book. It's so hard to guess who did it, but it is so good and I would highly recommend. Last but not least, by Ellen Hildebrand, we have The Hotel Nantucket, another one of course based on Nantucket, but this one is based on a hotel. In the hotel there is a ghost who haunts the guests. Haunts, but not really in a scary way. It's kind of like she's doing fun things and she's like into all the gossip and stuff, but the story of how she died was like crazy. And then it goes in between like 3 other characters' point of views just having their summer on Nantucket, and they're trying to make this hotel like the best hotel to get this really good rating. Can't say too much about the Ellen Hildebrand novels because so much goes into every single one of them, but I'm sure you guys will love at least one of them if you give them a try. But those are my spring break book recommendations. My dogs are going crazy, but I love you guys so much and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.